Hi everybody, welcome back to Between the Lines. My name is Julian, I'm an obsessive reader and used book collector, and today I'm doing a tag. So this is going to be my first actual tag, one where you're tagged by a fellow booktuber, not one you do on your own. The only one I've done so far is the newbie tag, that was my first video, but I'm excited that Bryce from Shelf Centered tagged me to do this one, that being the Your Answers Can't Be Books book tag. So this is a series of questions that, as the title says, your answer can't be books. Hopefully this will get all of you to understand a bit more about me, who I am outside of reading and booktube, and the questions are pretty fun, so why don't we just get into it. Alright, first question. What is something you own too many of other than books? This one's gonna be difficult. I do own way too many books, but since that can't be the answer, I guess I'll have to say movie posters. If you don't know much about me, I'm a filmmaker and I absolutely love movies. That's one of my big passions that runs alongside reading. And I have so many posters in my place and not enough room to put all of them up. And most of them are just sitting somewhere in my apartment, not framed yet. I've been meaning to slowly start framing these all, but that's expensive, so I've been kind of neglecting to do it. I do have a bunch of posters already up on my wall though. If you've watched all my videos, you know that I have The Day the Earth Stood Still. That's a custom poster done by Mr. Poster Guy, who I'll link his Instagram in the comments, who does custom posters, and he drew that for me. That's one of my favorite sci-fi movies, classic films. It's just an amazing movie. But it's not the only one I have in my place. I do have a bunch kind of up here in this room and then in the living room as well. And so many that are unframed. I have this giant poster of the movie Ron by Akira Kurosawa that's just so beautiful. And I have a couple 2001: A Space Odyssey posters of various sizes that I'm still waiting to put up as well. But I'm probably gonna be moving in the next 6 months or so, so I think I'm gonna wait until then before I put these up. Another quick thing that I have too much of, considering my day job is a videographer and video editor, is just filmmaking equipment. I don't have enough room in my place for all this stuff. I'm constantly bumping into filming equipment and stubbing my toes and cutting my knees, and it's just the worst. What is something you do for fun that's not reading a book? One of the things I like to do, and I try to incorporate this into my daily routine as much as possible, but since the weather's been all over the place lately, I haven't done it as much, and that's going for walks. This is something I started doing more in the last year. Before that, I was very inactive and didn't really want to do much. And my girlfriend kind of forced me to start going on longer walks with her last year, and then I started doing it myself. And it was actually nice to kind of get outside, especially during the lockdowns, and just to, listen to a podcast or music. And there's a nice road nearby that's close to the university that goes through some nature, and I take that route pretty often. And now that I'm into audiobooks, I've been listening to those as well on the walks. And walks in general are just the thing that kind of got me into fitness. Before this year, I was actually pretty out of shape, and at this point last year, I was about 40 pounds heavier than I am now, and walking kind of opened the door for me into getting back into shape. And it started with just the easy walks and then progressed to longer ones, and then to working out, and then to stuff like P90X and going to the gym. So walking has been a crucial part of me, not only just for my reading, but just for my overall health. What is something special or important that's on your nightstand that's not a book? That's definitely gonna be these, my Bluetooth wireless earbuds. I use them all the time. They're so handy, especially for working out and walking. It's so nice to, be doing weights or even going for a run and not having that wire tugging from your pocket or having to get an armband for your phone. Just to be able to pop in a couple of comfortable earbuds and listen to a podcast or music while you're going about your day has been so handy. And these ones are pretty good too. I don't have AirPods, it's a different brand. This is the Razer brand ones, and they're the earbuds that just kind of sit in your ear area like this. They don't go all the way in like a lot of the wireless ones do. I really can't use those. I can't listen to those. They're too uncomfortable and they always fall out of my ears. So I bought this brand specifically because they have the ones that just kind of sit in the outer part of your ear and aren't too invasive. And the sound quality is great too, like I can't complain. They're meant for gaming, I think. I haven't used them for gaming, so I don't know how well they work for that, but for my purposes, they're amazing. What is something you buy at a bookstore other than books? Well, since starting my used book collecting over the last year, I haven't gone to, retail bookstores all that much. I have gone a couple times, and something that I bought maybe in the past, but not recently from there, are mugs. The big box retail store near my house that I used to go to buy books has a big selection of mugs, and we have a couple of them here. I got my girlfriend one of them as part of one of her birthday gifts, and they're pretty good quality and have a bunch of different styles, but you know, I can't say that I buy too much other than books from bookstores. I know they do have chocolates, and there is a Starbucks attached to that bookstore, so I guess I can say I also buy Starbucks occasionally if I go to the retail one, which I don't do really anymore. The next one is, what is a fun gift that you have received that wasn't a book or a gift card for books? One of the favorite things that I own is a gift I got for my birthday this past year, and that's a chef's coat. My girlfriend gave me this, and it was such a nice, you know, meaningful personal gift. Cooking is something I really got into over the course of the pandemic. I was very bad at making food before all the lockdowns and stuff, and I kind of had to learn how to make food for myself. So I picked up cooking as a hobby, and I've gotten super into it, and we've made all sorts of stuff over the last year. And I really love making pizza, especially. Pizza is one of my favorite foods. When I was a little bit heavier than this, I maybe made too much of it, but over the last year, we've learned how to make so many delicious things and a lot more healthy things this year now that I'm focusing more on my health. And for my birthday, I got the chef's coat along with a sushi making class that I was able to do in my place that we watched a video for, and I made a whole bunch of sushi and it was delicious. And that chef's coat reminds me of that experience, and I wear it every time I'm making something delicious. What's a YouTube channel you watch that's not related to books? I want to mention a couple channels here actually. The first one is Nick Lutzko. He's a musician who makes very, very, very funny music, and his videos are great. He does a lot of comedic stuff that I discovered initially last year during the election. He was making a lot of relevant political stuff leading up to the US election, and his songs and music videos have kind of developed like a background lore to them that's been interesting to follow over the last year. And if you're not sure who this is, he's the guy who made the Spirit Halloween theme song, which is now turned into a trilogy, and he's just so funny. Like, if you haven't heard this guy's music or watched his music videos, like, you have to go find them. They're just too much. And the second channel I wanted to mention is Tasting History with Max Miller. Like I said, I love cooking, and to find someone who is doing recipes and making food that's based on historical recipes was really interesting to watch. He makes a lot of very interesting food and makes me really question what we used to eat as a species over the last couple thousand years. Some really weird stuff, but he does a great job of presenting the recipes and talking a lot about the history involved in them, and then actually presenting the food and seeing, you know, what it might have looked like to people who made it back then. All right, and now at this point, I'm supposed to tag 5 others that, you know, I want to know more about. And this was actually the most difficult part to come up with an answer for, because I scoured all the people that I subscribe to and follow on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure most everyone has done this. I don't really know too much what the rules or parameters are for these booktube tags, so I'm just gonna go ahead and possibly break the rules on my first go. So what I wanted to do is open this up to any small booktubers who are watching this video and maybe haven't been tagged yet. Go ahead and consider yourself tagged. If you're someone like me who's very small, getting started on YouTube, and you haven't been tagged by somebody else, consider this your tag. Or if you don't feel like making a whole video about it, just comment below what your answers are. There's only a few questions here, so it'd be pretty quick to type out. So if you're not comfortable with making a video or announcing it to the world, just leave a comment here. So that's it. This was a lot of fun to do. It's a bit more casual and informal than the usual videos I do, where I have more of a script or a breakdown about my thoughts. And it was really nice to be tagged by Bryce and involved in this whole process. It makes me feel like I'm a part of the community now. And although I couldn't pass it on to anyone else in particular, you know, I hope that maybe you see this and consider yourself tagged. So remember to do all the YouTube stuff, like liking and subscribing, leaving a comment. Please remember to support your local library, and I'll see you next time.